Welcome to TKC Bible Reading Challenge powered by Grace Bible Mission. Today we'll be taking Matthew 15 to 17. I am Mianulu and with me is
Francis.
How has Matthew been?
Matthew has been enlightening.
But even though it's like the first book in the New Testament, and let's say we did not really know what to expect, but we are just exploring it, and so far it has been a wonderful experience.
Yes.
Yeah. So today, just like we've done when we started Matthew, today we'll be looking at 15 to 17. So very fast, let's just know what each chapter is talking about. So in chapter 15, we saw a woman that has feet. That was like, even if you are not going to give me this thing because of something, the dog eats from the floor of eats crumbs from his master's table. So we should know that we have faith. We learned about the woman's faith in chapter 15. And another surprising thing is that yesterday we were just talking about Jesus feeding 5,000 people. Now today we are talking about Jesus feeding 4,000 people too. Jesus just like feeding people. But that's if you are there. Because for someone that is not there when Jesus was feeding these people, you will just deny the fact that Jesus was actually feeding people. So in 16 talks about when Jesus was talking about his death and his suffering. It was like, this is what will happen, and he even said he will die and rise, or he will, that's true, he will rise in the third day. Yes. And his disciples were sad because of that. Who wants their master to die? So the same thing in chapter 17 too. Jesus talked about his death, and Jesus healed a boy too in chapter 17. So let's just dive right into it. In chapter 15, what can we say in chapter 15?
From our yesterday podcast, I also learned that sometimes our miracles come from unexpected places.
Exactly.
Like that little boy that surrendered his meal, and everyone was blessed. So today, I want to speak from verse 19 of chapter 15. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornication, theft, false witness, and blasphemies. The importance of guiding our hearts in this 21st century. You know, there are many things that want to take our attention.
Exactly.
And so we need to guide our hearts from many things that want to take the attention. So just say that if you are able to guide your heart, you are able to lead a life that is worthy. Let us guide our hearts from the music we hear, from things we watch, social medias, etc. And let us sanctify our hearts with the word of God, so that we can live a life that honors God.
Okay, I just want to add something in that chapter 15 before we leave the feeding part. They said in chapter 38, he said there are 4,000 men who ate, not counting the women and children. So it means the number of people God fed, Jesus fed, was not actually 4,000.
Yes,
it was more than that. So imagine these 4,000 people came with their wife.
Yeah. But this time around, the apostle brought the loaves.
Exactly, actually, yes. How much food do they have? And they replied, they have 7 small loaves. So yeah, they brought the loaves, but at the same time, Jesus still multiplied it.
Yes.
And faith, the woman that has faith that she can actually go with. Okay, let's go for verse 26. Jesus replied, it isn't right to take food away from children and feed it to the dog. And the woman said, Lord, that's true. But even dog gets the crumbs that falls from their owner's table. The woman's faith was what saved her. It was because of what she said. She was not feeling like, me, eat crumbs here. She was still standing on the fact that even if it is crumbs that she gets, once she's able to get something, even though literally they were not talking about food, but they were using that analogy for it.
Traditionally, I think that woman was a Samaritan.
Yeah.
So I think she was not a Jew.
Canaanite.
okay, she was not, she was a Canaanite.
Canaanite.
I think that was where the issue came. And Jesus was talking to her not because he despised her, but it was a traditional thing. So it tells us that even God does not despise anybody. Anyone that has faith, no matter your background, no matter your history, if you have faith, you can come to God and He will answer you. He will give you what you want. So far you believe in Him.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what happened here. So Jesus doesn't look down on people, but He answers you even when you don't deserve it.
Okay, in Matthew 16, there's this question: who is Jesus? This is the place where Jesus was asking his disciples, who do you even think I am? Like there's the part that you've been working with someone for a long period of time, and then they ask you, who is your master? And then you start thinking and cracking your brain to know the right word to use. I feel the disciples will be like, are you whining me? Why will I not know you? Are you not my master? So I don't know, that kind of sounds somehow. Your master asking you, do you even know who I am?
Yeah, so we need to know Jesus personally.
Exactly.
Knowing Jesus is a personal thing. You know, Peter answered it based on the revelation of God to him.
Yes.
So if you are there, you don't really know who Jesus is. Maybe you read the Bible, you come to church, you listen to this podcast, but you need to know, to have a deeper experience. Another thing, that you know Jesus yesterday doesn't mean that you don't need to know Him more. We need to grow in the knowledge of Him. So there is no need to sleep over. Let us ask to know Him more.
Knowing Him more is actually important. And very fast, just in chapter 17, verse 22, while Jesus and his disciples were going from place to place in Galilee, he told them, the Son of Man will be handed over to people who will kill him, but 3 days later he will rise to life. All of this make the disciples very sad. So because of the fact that they were sad does not mean what will happen will not happen.
Yes.
It still happened.
Yes. Sometimes the best come from pain.
Yeah, actually.
Jesus died that we may live.
Yes. But the thing is that even though the death was predestined.
Yes. And many times when we lose people we love, we become sad.
Yeah, actually.
But just have the best plan for all of us.
Definitely. Because even though the disciples were sad, they did not take it upon themselves to change their behavior to him or anything. So thank you for listening to today's podcast. Thank you. We are leaving you with the message and the peace and the joy of the Lord. Have a nice day or have a good night's rest. Bye.
Bye.